long at the VWAP. And a few of my different accounts. This one's demo, but I do have going long in my funded futures in my other account. So we'll see this VWAP. So this is kind of a long. Got stopped out actually, so I might wait until it goes back above it, or take a short. Could be some games this morning. It is a nice, we'll see. Have to wait a little bit. Got 6 minutes to the open, so NQ's been playing some good games, actually some good shorts off the Confluence. Really the shorts have been the best, really the best. Good longs earlier, and some good shorts there. And that just stopped me out. So we could go short here just for the near the open till it proves otherwise. But I don't love shorting it right now, honestly. He's been acting kind of weird today. Stop in. So we do have we're on a small time frame here on the 15-second, but do have some order flow being a little bullish here. We'll see. Now we're back above the VWAP. So we shall see how this plays out. Jump on here, share screen. So we shall see. Hold above this VWAP. And we are in between the GANs, which I don't love. I love, well, if you do the 4 hour. It's the 4 hour hours. Again, I love trading near the GAN lines, so you can see how this one is pulling back a little bit. VWAP, yeah, it's taking that out. But I'm going to stay long on this thing for now. It's too big of a stop. Keep it reasonable. So definitely long using this VWAP for now. Opens in 2 minutes, so we'll see. see if this VWAP can hold. Opens up here, minute and a half or so. See what's going to happen at the open. Yeah, we're at 1 minute left till the New York cash open. So definitely just right underneath the VWAP. So risking $400. Move my stop on my other computer here. So I have long. Gotta give it a little bit of room at this open. Who knows? Could flush down, flush up, flush down. Ooh, look at, oh man, that's a monster candle. Monster. Dang. Yeah. That was a great little candle there. Yeah, market's just flying. Flying. Okay, the market did open here and it just straight up for now. Look at all these awesome confirmations. You got the institutional buying, you got the buying absorption markers, and then all the deltas just pushing up. Now we're fighting this 4 hour 265. So then we got this some delta selling coming in, but we're still above the VWAP. We do have a marker here, but I like that little more confirmation to go to sell. But we'll see. Maybe could have scalped a little bit there. The 40. Yeah, 2 minutes in, we'll see. Typically, I mean, yeah, you never know. A reversal right now, you'd think it'd have another leg up, but we'll see. We shall see if we have another leg up to break through the scan here. We shall see. Don't know. Nice play off the open though. Can we get above 265? Stopped right on the almost to the tick. It's the power of the fire again for you. So then they got back up to 53. Pretty cool morning though, so far. Good stuff. All right, so we'll see. We had a little bit of a pullback here, and but let's see if we can break through this 4-hour GAN. But who knows? It could. I'd like to see order flow all bullish and lots of good volume here. We do have some order flow here turning, but so it could be. Could be a short here at this 4-hour again double top, but so it could flip this thing. But what's going on, RD753? Caught a nice break off the open. Actually hit my live target. This is just obviously in demo. Good to see you. So now it's like, can we get? You know, I do love double tops near 4-hour GANs, but you know we're a little early. I mean, is the market just going to reverse right here? I mean, who knows? But so yeah, I'm definitely long, and then plus with the VWAP right here, so. And we could, this double top could be invalidated here shortly as it's pressing. Yeah, so there you go. It kind of invalidates that double top just right there. So that's why it wasn't like a very powerful double top, but also time frame, right? I mean, we're just right at the Monday morning open. Sometimes you look to flush up, flush down, right? Everything's every day is different, but it didn't have that straight up, straight down action to it for me to try to short it per se. So now we're long basically 265. Can we get to this 338, which is a pretty powerful number? I think we hit that number last week. It seems like we did. Seems like a familiar number, but we'll see. Can we hold above this? We hold it above this number here. But we have a good absorption marker right here. So like I'm in you're it's crazy. 4 contracts. You're up 7K. It's crazy. Gotta love NQ, man. Yeah, so basically just treat this as a new trade. Kill it from the VWAP to the GAN, and now we're basically in a new trade, going from GAN to a nice stack GAN here at the 338. We'll see. I mean, I don't know, but as a GAN trader, we just shoot GAN to GAN. We'll see. This is so beautiful of this. Like, so many days would I be trying to short this, seeing some of these wicks and really having no rhyme or reason to take trades. I don't know. I used to just do stupid shit. Not that, again, right, you could short right now and make it, but I don't know. I just remember past behavior of shorting, trying to short these highs, right? Because, sometimes it works, and you're like, but more often than not, it doesn't, as I've mentioned, right? It's just hard to pick these tops, and really there's no reason to do that. Obviously, it could flip here. But I hate practicing. I don't like practicing kind of shorting in the middle of nowhere myself, right? Even though it can work, you can look like a hero. Speaking to myself, not you, RD753, I just don't like to, especially when it's stair stepping, because we all know you can short it and you're in profit a little bit, and then it just keeps pushing against you. Never a fun way to trade personally. And I guess that's the FOMO, right? If you miss the breakout, then I think a lot of us, or at least we are used to, like, okay, well, we gotta make money, right? We're traders, we gotta make money. So it's like, well, if you miss the breakout, likely you gotta wait or look for a potential pullback. And as you know, pullbacks can be pretty nasty on NQ. Right? If you go long here, it can definitely suck down all the way down to 65, right? It could. So pullbacks can be tricky too. It's always tricky with NQ. But that's why I like the levels. Trade close to the levels as we can on the 4-hour or daily. And if we miss a trade, big deal, right? Who cares? You can't, But so far, nice move up. So just for practice, take off, a good chunk of it. And now we hit, again, almost, we're very close. So that was a pretty cool, pretty basic, right? Let me get some awesome, we're on a small time frame, 15 second, but look at this. Absorption marker, everything green right at a 4-hour. To me, that's like money trade, right? To me. Now, it's not always going to work, but man, it works a lot. And you have everything lined up. And then you're done, You wait for this kind of thing and, manage it. And you're done, honestly, right? So, most of the morning, let's say you're waiting, you could have caught some of these shorts too. They're the same principle, shorting it, or the VWAP earlier, like this is a nice scalp down, double bounce off the 4-hour. This is a no man's land trade, no man's land. You could say, well, you're going long into the VWAP, so you could say that's not, doesn't meet your criteria. This one, you could say I'll take short. There's some markers, but so you could in theory short that. But obviously, I wouldn't love that one. But you could obviously, let's say you took that one, took a small loss, but then really the longing at the VWAP. Look at how much you got. It's an awesome long here. Bounces to the tick here. You have an opportunity to. There's a kind of a retracement here. You can see this is coming back a little bit, but so longing here makes sense to me. There is a double top, but it's not the best one. Especially in such a small time frame, you can't really give it that much. But then look at this, like I mentioned before, everything lining up again. So you get 3. Just even this morning, you're getting 3 high quality setups with multiple confirmation, confluence, whatever you call it, and you just killed it. Basically, 3 awesome trades in a row. Well, you could say 3 out of 4 if you count. Maybe you feel like this. Looking back, you're like, well, you get. You see this push down. So 3 out of 4. Big deal, if you lose a trade on like at the trade idea, right? Who cares, right? But then you go right back and just start killing it. So, right, you can't always cherry pick, right? You can't always go around, every right. That's why I'm like, this could be a valid, signal. You have some deltas, and you have a marker, and you have volume. So, right, you have to trade the system, and you're below the VWAP. So to me, that's a valid short. That lost. And so, yeah, you're right. We can't always cherry pick the best trades. This is an infomercial, RD753. I'm only going to show you the best trades of the day. I'm not going to show you the ones that lose. God, you know what I mean? I don't lose ever, so heaven forbid I'd show you a trade that doesn't work. We don't is here, right? Oh, man. I love how, yeah, that's the problem with like those YouTube videos, man. They cherry, and I think, you know, I love Justin, but man, he cherry picks so many. Like a lot of his videos. I don't know if you're familiar with SMM or yeah, SMM. Again, awesome dude, and he'll show us some losing days too. But man, he cherry picks the time frame. He'll go back and change the time frame on when things look better for the indicator. I know a lot. He's not alone. I mean, and I'm not saying I don't always do that. I try not to do that, but he wants to show a losing trade. But you got to. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. I guess everybody's already made their money. Well, a good morning, some good trades this morning. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're practicing or doing whatever works for you. Man, look at that nice push up on this daily right here. Beautiful. So you got really not reason to short this, not just yet. That's kind of cool. We're at a daily. I love being at the dailies, especially when you're stacked with a 4-hour and a daily. We'll see if this 38 holds or not. Yeah, pretty cool magic of the Gans. It paused right at the daily, so we'll see. See if it gives us any idea what to do with this daily. What to do? So I'll move this to the 50% area. Yeah, I tell you this. When I was long down here, I was below the VWAP, but we had some of this confirmation. It's just a beautiful. These candles are just like rockets. It was pretty cool. So I could treat this as a new trade idea. You'll see I got my profit, Gan to Gan. Not really worried about what I got. Who cares right now? New trade, basically. This daily, right? So treat this as a new trade, basically. And these 4 hours aren't going to be as helpful now because they're all bunched up. So just using the daily, but the next daily is way up here, right? Could it stair step all the way up to 687? I have no idea, right? Who knows? But the main goal is just to manage this long off the 338 as a new trade idea. So cool, yeah. Again, you get some nice markers, order flow right at the daily. So even if you don't get your daily, you could be done here, right? You just scalp out. Nice. If you don't want to risk too much, you know, take some money off the table, and then you know, give this one some room. You can always re-enter if it kind of retraces. So we're taking a kind of a breakout trade near the daily. You gotta expect it, you know, indicate a you have some opportunity to jump back in, or it could reverse. Of course, we all know that. But again, another solid trade set up right at the daily with confirmation. I mean, it's kick-ass. Just awesome stuff. Yeah, just past few days, man, just destroying NQ. Well, Friday got, you know, bounced me a little bit, but then it, you know, got some good stuff. But yeah, Friday was probably one of the trickier days. But that's all right. You know, I mean, to me, that's just kind of the cost of, you know, the game, right? When it does that barcode stuff, you just the best, you know, either in demo practicing or hopefully you just avoid that kind of stuff. But and then so far today, we'll see. So yeah, obviously, if it, you know, if we get a nice retest near any retest, I definitely think is valid. Looking to, you know, retest long, or you know, if it breaks this. Right, if it breaks it, and then retest, comes back down. Hey, November, what's going on? Just catching some good trades overall so far. Hope you're doing well, buddy. I already took some profit off this one. So yeah, we're at this daily, right? It's beautiful. We get move these. I mean, basically all morning. VWAP confirmation. This one might not have been as good, but look at this. Then you get all these markers, so you can scalp here. This one, I think I mentioned, would be a loss, but either way, or even if you do this one, so you, let's say you took a couple losses here, but then look at how awesome this one is. You get all the markers lining up at the VWAP, and then also you get a retracement right at the VWAP. I mean, it's just money, right? Money, break, retest. So you got the VWAP to the daily, and then you can see even at the daily, you get all these markers. Just easy money, honestly. Just going along at the freaking daily, which is our money ATM. And then, so yeah, I was long, but yeah. So that's kind of the morning, right? Some awesome trades. Then you're done. You're halfway into the market. Well, I guess if you're trading earlier like me, it's a couple hours of scalping and you're done. You know, an hour, at least an hour. You can't scalp forever. I mean, I guess you could, but so we'll see if this holds. There's a nice little fib number there. So I mean, I already took profit. So then, basically, this is a new trade idea. So I took full profit, or, you know, I think I scalped a little bit off, and then I just took full profit, and then I just reopened a new trade, and then I took profit off here. So it's pretty cool stuff. So easy stuff, right? Trading is so easy, right? Such easy. I don't know why people are so bitching about how hard it is, right? It's so easy. It's so easy. I don't know why people think this is so hard, you know? I know. It should be the other way around. It should be like 95% kill it and then 5% lose. And it's like, what's wrong with those 5% losers? You know, what's their problem? I feel bad for those 5% losers, you know? They can't win at this. 95% of us are killing it. Losers. Oh, yeah. It's like, how do you lose, man? This is like money's just falling out of the trees in my back. You know, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, stop making so much money. I can't take it. It was too much. I don't know what to do with it all. I can only buy so many Teslas with it, you know? Just stop. This November's got like 3 Lambos in his garage. He's depending on which color he wants for the day, you know. If it's raining, he might, you know. Ooh, look at this one's coming back on me a little bit. Yeah, you know, that's the life though, man. In you know, van down by the river with your government cheese, you know, that's the best skit of all time. We're gonna be buddies. We're gonna be pals. There's you. There's me. I love that skit. I miss Mr. Farley, man. I miss Phil Hartman too, dude. I still can't believe his freaking wife killed him. I'm like, that guy was one of the most talented dudes. I miss that dude so much, man. He did. And Phil Hartman, I miss Phil Hartman. I mean, that guy was so amazing, right? You know his story. Helped invent Pee Wee Herman, you know, with whatever his name is. I forget the real name of that guy. But just overall, I mean, Phil Hartman's talent was just, oh man, so talented. His voices, his everything, right? It just shows you, you know, I think his wife was sick mentally, maybe. I forget the full thing. Obviously, she must have been, you know. I know she was really jealous of him too, but still, I think she had a mental illness. And it's just brutal, man. He should still be with us, right? I mean, I know, dude. It's just, she was whacked. She was so messed up, you know? It's crazy. I think he was trying to leave her, wasn't he? Yeah, I know, man. It's brutal. That part is, you know, I think he was trying to, wasn't he trying to leave her? What's going on, Sam? I think he was trying to get out of that, wasn't he? And that's the problem. I think she knew that he was trying to get away from her. We're talking about Phil Hartman missing missing the Farley, Mr. Farley. Yeah, yeah, you're right, dude. It's you know, I mean, he would think that, right? I'm sure he's like, he would think your own, you know, your own person in your life would take you out like that. I don't know, as mean as as messed up as she was, but man, that was brutal. Yeah, so it's kind of like, you know, I still miss Robin Williams, you know, greatly, right? Robin Williams, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, like certain guys, there's certain people that you just like, man, hurts, right? Just freaking just oh man. But yeah, I remember Phil Hartman for sure. That just was just. I think he was starting a news radio at the time, and it just he was doing a lot of stuff. Obviously, not just that, but you just can't replace him, man. I know they tried. I forget who they. I think it was with. I forget his name, but and he's a decent actor. I forget his name. I can picture him. Well-known actor, but just not even close to Phil Hartman's level, personally. As good as that guy is, I know he's decent. He's funny. I know, dude. He was such a classy guy, man. Seriously, you're right, man. You forget about the little things like that, but he was all about helping people for sure. He wasn't like he played a lot of selfish characters, right? But man, you're right. I mean, obviously that was just his character, but yeah, he was an awesome dude. I mean, at least from what we could tell, you never know 100%, but he seemed to, from what other people say. Usually, you can you hear stuff but definitely. When no one deserves that fate. As these, I've killed a lot of these longs, and you got to think it's going to pause a little bit. It's going to maybe not reverse, but I didn't recording this, so I'll publish it. I could go back and review a lot of the setups that I liked, as it's kind of, but awesome morning so far. RD753 has been here long enough for me to bore him to death, and so November's getting there, and then Sam will get there. I'll find a way to bore you to death, Sam. I'll find a way. But yeah, RD753 has to be. He's got to take some caffeine supplements to stay awake. Oh man, look at this candle. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's fun, man. I love trading, right? I like to rip on myself because I just, can't take this too serious. Nice, beautiful candle markers. We're at a daily. You know what I mean? This is just like magic, right? This is just, we're at a daily with all this confirmation. I just, you get maybe beat up on a Friday a little bit, and then all of a sudden you get rewarded. So this is like some days you're gonna get really paid well for GAN trading. It's just like any other strategy, right? It doesn't matter what we're doing. Man, just stay consistent, and you will kill it in the long run. Yeah, days you get roughed up, we call it a day. If it bounces around a level and it's not paying us, after a few legs, we call it a day. And then there are days like this where it bounces off dailies, and you just freaking destroy NQ, right? That's how I view it. It's just, you gotta pick, you can't jump around too much. I'm always looking to improve things, and I was a little frustrated over the weekend thinking, oh God, do I suck at this? Because Friday bounced me a little bit, even though later on I did okay. And then I realized, it's just price action, right? When the price, it's not my fault. I can't control it. If price is bouncing around a level, bouncing me out, then the best thing you can do is just stop trading, and then you wait for a day like this, and you just kill it. You just freaking just destroy your NQ. So scalps the profit off, move this to break even, and now I've had RG753 see me all morning just freaking destroy NQ all morning. So it's like we're trading is weird, right? It's it can make you feel so miserable sometimes. I don't know why. It shouldn't, because it's just price, right? It's just levels. But it can definitely make me second guess myself if I'm any good at this, right? And there's days where I guess I can get, not in front of people, but like in my own head, like, oh man, like I feel pretty good, right? Like, and then you're like, the next day you're like, oh shit, I suck at this. And then, oh man, sure, so then hopefully you get to the point where you're more balanced, not too high, too low, right? This is just like anything else in life. Like we've said in golf, right? The best thing you can do to your buddy out playing golf is saying, "Damn, you're playing good today. Man, you're awesome." Then you guaranteed, unless he's like has the mental fortitude of ice in his veins, he's gonna shank that shot so bad, right? Man, dude, you're playing so well today, man. What's up with that? What'd you do to your swing, dude? Why? It's just looking. Your swing looks amazing today, man. Shank. It's over. He's done. I've done it to my brother so many times. Where if he's beating me, it's like, man, dude, what are you doing, man? Your putting's on fire. You're chipping. You can't do wrong today. And then just banana ball. Just he gives me that look. He tries to do it to me. I try to tune it out. Gotta mess with people playing golf. Mine is a tournament. That's my favorite thing to do. Mess with my friends playing golf. Man, your swing looks so good today, man. What'd you do? Then they watch their next shot. So far out in the weeds, it's like they can't even. It's gone. Or you wait for a water hole. Just wait for a hole to show up where there's water. Don't look at that pond over there. Splash. And then I have to get that out of my own head. Clear my own head, so I don't do it to myself. You've had those. I don't know if you guys play golf. Obviously, where 3 or 4 under, going into the last 3 holes. It's like the kiss of death, man. Just trying to finish the round out. Your legs turn to jello. You're just trying to, finish a good round out. Trading can be like that too a little bit, if you get out of balance, But as long as you trade small, trade at the right levels, and with confirmation, again, over and over, right? You think of over the course of a month, man, you're going to destroy NQ. Over and over. Now, yeah, you get here and there. A level will give us trouble, then you just call it a day, no big deal. And then kind of same mindset. You get back to level trading with confirmation and just kill it, then call it a day, right? Try to be indifferent. And then look at this. Just unbelievable, right? Instead of fighting this, all these guys trying to pick these tops, just getting destroyed. And here we are, just kind of picking the good levels and just trading, I don't know. Good stuff. It's just kind of, this is where we kind of just destroy NQ, So that's kind of like, that's where we can't be everywhere, right? I can't, like I used to be pretty good at range trading, but now, and not that we can't do well with range, like if it's really ranging, that barcode shit, it just doesn't fit my, like, but this, right, we catch a good level, and we take profit where we want. Now we're just managing this thing, and you destroy NQ on a Monday, and you're done, So if this gets stalled out or whatever, I'm done, right? I'm not gonna. There can be a time to, when the market pivots and it can flip. But if I've had a good day like this, just call it a day. Go work in the yard or take your, I don't know, right? So that's how I view this. The number one thing, right? You trade dailies is our number one thing. Kind of like I said here. It's just, I don't know how much better of a system you can get. The system's saying go long at 339. You have everything lined up. Then you get a nice complex retracement that fails below 338. So anywhere is a good long here. Then you get these awesome markers to long. Anyway, that's how I look at this. Good level, good confirmation, and over the course of a month, you're going to destroy NQ or ES or gold or whatever you're doing. Doesn't matter. It's pretty universal, and we don't fight this shit. If you missed it, whatever. Then go back on replay mode and practice and get your mind right, and then rinse and repeat. Do the same thing tomorrow and build those concrete habits. This is the kind of trader you are, you know. You wait for a good level with confirmation, and you take, the right risk for your account, and you don't overtrade it, and you just do it. You know what I mean? That's how you can make a living at this every day. Again, I guess I wouldn't call it every day. I'd call it, you're just a trader. Some days you get bounced and you're done. Other days like this, you kill and destroy. And again, it's just a market doing what it wants us to do, right? We surrender to it, right? That's the beauty of this. We don't control anything. We don't force stuff. We just trade. We just do what it tells us to do. Hey, what's up, Nico? You just missed some of Jat Magic, man. No, I didn't recording this. So Nico, if you really, I am gonna publish it. But I just going through mindset training, right? We're level traders with good mindset, I don't know. I get bored. I just talking about how these levels are really working well for us GAN traders, right? Earlier on, VWAP gave us a good long, right? Perfect, okay? So let's say you missed that. That's a VWAP to GAN. Then you have a nice 4-hour daily markers, good long there. It retraces, fails to get below the 338 daily. Look at this. You get some awesome candles. All markers pointing up, long here. Get another signal. Again, I took off a bunch. I don't know what I'm up today. I'm up a lot on my live. I should go back and look at that. But then, just practicing. I don't know if it shows. Does it show history? Look at this all morning. 519. I was doing my live trades with this too, right? I had a couple of losses, but look at this since this morning. Just crazy. I was taking some, but again, it's not me, right? It's GAN telling us what to do, right? I don't who gives a shit, right? You do care, but at the same time, we don't. We just trade what it tells us to do. We don't fight shit. I don't try to trade what I used to call phantom trades, trying just because the market's shooting up, I'd short it, right? How many times did I do that in my history? Not that they don't work. It's just, what can you do that's gonna work over a month? We can't base our success off of 1 or 2 days. We have to go the long term, right? We have to, right? Because one trade, it means nothing. 1 day means nothing, right? We all can click a button and destroy NQ on 1 day. That doesn't mean shit, right? We all know that. That's why I don't love posting P&L all the time. I don't know, because it's not really about that. It's about being that trader every day. And really, it's not that difficult. We just find a good level with confirmation, and we take the right trade with the right risk. If you have a $50,000 account, likely you're just going to do a few micros. If you have a pretty decent size account, like 100 over 100K, maybe you're 1 or 2 minis. And you can see how it's kind of pulling back a little bit here, but like I said, I'm not going to counter. There was a counter trend. In theory, what's going on, Eric? Good to see you, dude. So many good trades today. Good to see you, dude. And I'm not going to go back over it again, Eric. I just went over it 4 times. So, Eric, you missed out. You're going to have to go back to when I publish this on YouTube, Eric. I'm not going to go over it again, Eric. You missed out. You missed out on the wisdom. Just kidding. That's the beauty of it, right? I tell you what I think, and you guys can adapt it to what works for you. Because, right? you can say, "Yeah, it's full of shit," or whatever, right? Or that doesn't work for you. Like, that's what's so cool about this whole thing, right? Because we all have to take what works for us, right? That's the obvious. So my whole goal is hopefully it just gives you guys nuggets that works for you, right? I can't really tell you to trade how I do it because that doesn't work, right? You have to find what works for you. That's why I do like these calls, honestly, because I don't want, I don't know, I just love levels with confirmation. I try to, like, how would I teach my, you know, my daughter who's in 4th grade to do this? That's trying to how I view it. You know, you wait for a level, you wait for, you know, markers, and you go along. Like, the rules are pretty concrete. We don't, or pretty simple. We don't overcomplicate. I know we have a lot going on, but as essence, basically we're level traders with confirmation. That's how I look at it. That's a very basic core idea, and then we build on that. That's how I view it, to make it right. Trading should not be that complex where we have so many fucking lines and so many, we're just, you know, we're like paralyzed with too much data. I like the pulse, but I don't need the pulse, right? We don't need buy and sell signals because GANs tell us what to do, especially when we have awesome confirmation, right? So, like, I love the setup so much, right? That's why I don't really, I do produce new indicators, but I don't really add stuff to it because I like what we have, right? I don't, you know. Yeah, that's kind of like, I do the same thing, dude. Whenever I catch myself making it overdoing it, I just go back to the core idea. I'm long at, you know, dailies. I'm long, you know, at the 4 hours. As the 4 hours get bunched up, they don't mean as much. They lose their significance, right? They're still really good. You don't get a marker here, but you're still getting, you know, prices breaking up. It's retracing, and then, like, so there's still a good long here. No, there's no marker, but you can't always wait. I mean, it depends on what you want to do. If you're always waiting for markers, fine. You'll be in less trades, and that can be a good thing too. I mean, that's why I moved to a 15-second chart, because it does show more markers. If I'm on a 1 minute, 1 minute's fine. I just notice I don't really get it. Sometimes the pullbacks are a little trickier. Now, it's actually not too bad, because even on a 1 minute, like, break, retest, break, this is kind of like a smaller break. This is a nice break, retest. So, it all depends on how you want to do it. I mean, ideally, I shouldn't have ES. Ideally, what you'd have is like a 5-minute chart over here, and then the chart that you execute trades on. That's why I like a 15-second. Not that I don't do my analysis on a 15-second. My analysis is on a 4-hour or a daily, right? I'm not taking trades off the 15-second as my analysis. It helps me get better entries. Again, right? So, but yeah, you're right. That's all right. That's the balance of the second we find ourselves either over trading, over leveraging, over complicating, then you just reset and go back to, getting back to the basics and just keeping it as simple as possible. So there's nothing wrong with that, dude. Right? That's just trading, right? So yeah, kind of like a new trade idea now, right? We're in a new trade idea, long off this 4-hour, 420. So another GAN to GAN there. I mean, just destroying in Q, not even forcing anything, right? That's what's so cool about this. We're not forcing anything. It's just stalling at this 4-hour, but I'm not looking to, for me, if I've already had a killer day. Not that you couldn't short this. I'm not saying, for me though, once I've already had a really good day, this is kind of like my last trade idea. And if it works, great. Everyone's different, right? If people want to look, if they see a confirmation trade to, catch a 4-hour with confirmation, I'm not saying you can't scalp against the trend. I mean, I don't like doing that, but again, there's a million ways to do it. But as like for me, when you're caught the best trade of the day, to me I'm done, right? So if this comes out, takes me out, I'm done. For me, even in practice, all my live trades are done, and now it's just we'll see if this holds. So that's the way I don't know. I just know with scalping, you have to find that line of, as long as you're mentally have that edge where you're ready to shut it down, and you're just, that's how I look at it. It's when I just looking back at when I've talked about my hope trades. If I find myself hoping that this is going to work or trying to get money back, that's usually my best indication to stop and get up and close it down for the day, or at least walking away for a while. I just know myself if I ever find myself hoping or trying to get back, that doesn't really work. Minus if you're in the, let's say you are down, but you're trading with that mindset of, okay, you're just going to, scalp and, be smart about your risk. That's a little bit different. Instead of just putting on a trade, trying to get it back for really no reason. But by the mere fact of that you're trying to get it back, right? They're not planned trades, like we know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, dude, I know hopium is the worst, right? It's the worst. The hopium. Come on. Please, God, come back. Yeah, it can be very addictive. And it can really, it can hurt you mentally too. Because then it can makes you doubt yourself whether you can do this or not, right? Because a lot of those trades don't work out, and then what happens is then it does the opposite. You don't build confidence; it actually destroys confidence. Because, yeah, dude, me too, man. That's why I try to be very aware of that. The second I start hoping, I really try to stop, because I just know myself that, man, it just doesn't work. So yeah, on those days I get roughed up, I start over and I just go back to trading levels with confirmation and try to keep it very basic. And that's the beauty of it. You just build confidence. The second, you're not doing stuff in your best interest, you gotta stop. And that's a fine line. We all know that, right? But we should always be acting in our best interest, right? Keeping that in mind. If you're just trading because you're just kind of effort in effort mode, you're not trading in your best interest. Even if it starts working, that's not good for your mentality. It's not good for your habits, because that just means, the next day when those trades don't work, the market will punish you eventually, right? So the market's weird. It has a way of finding your weaknesses. It's weird how it does that, right? It's just to me, it's like math. You will eventually, if you have a weakness, it's going to find it. Because I know it finds my weaknesses. I know that, right? It's just a math game. That's all it is. If we over leverage, then it's a guarantee that account will eventually be blown. It's just math. If you trade it smart, math will be in your favor, and you'll keep it and get payouts. It's just math. But yeah, the second we start over leveraging, it's pretty much a guarantee that account, it's just a matter of time before that account won't exist anymore. Because I know I've over leveraged so many times and blown so many live accounts. It's just, what I mean? It used to be fun, right? Oh, I got a live account. I got to make some money, and then bam, gone, sayonara. That pain is just, it just hurts. And so much time, right? You spend, a couple weeks getting the live account, and then at least for me, and then, and you blow it within a day or two. It's like, what am I doing, So now I got to go back, just trade small, wait for a level. I don't know, just a better way to trade, for me. And then you get some payouts. And I don't know. But yeah, Nico, man, you and I, well, all of us, man, markets can be very humbling. We all know Jesse Livermore's tale, right? He did really well, but I think ultimately the market crushed him mentally. I think he committed suicide, right? So one of the greatest traders, you know, in the market destroyed him, right? So because that's a lesson, right? We shouldn't let it. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's a lot of people, I'm sure, where the market's destroyed them mentally. He can't be the only one, right? And again, not ripping on him. I mean, the market, yeah. I mean, we know, right? It's fragile. We're all fragile, honestly, mentally, to some degree. That's how I look at life. Is like, yeah, as you get older and you see people go through stuff, you're like, I don't know. That's why I think empathy is probably the biggest thing we can, right? Having empathy instead of judging people, being empathetic is probably one of the most powerful. I don't know. In my 20s, I had a good time judging people, but then realizing that, that's not really healthy. Then as you get older, you're like, oh man, those judgments disappeared because then I realized, man, adulting is pretty tough, man. There's obviously a lot of good stuff, right? You find out who you are, find out what you want to do with yourself, good self awareness, but sometimes, like I said, like all these longs, but then you right on the dot, it did give us, but for me, it's hard to be everywhere. Um, I mean, look at that 4 hour GAN gave you a good chance to scalp down. It's crazy, right? I mean, it's unbelievable. So, it gave you a good level with confirmation. So there's not quite a long, yeah. I mean, again, to me, I'm done live, and maybe even practice. After I've had so many awesome trades, I don't know. I just again, that was a nice setup though. Right, that 4 hour, but I don't I don't love the kind of trend when NQ's trending like this personally, but there was a good trade there, to scalp a little bit. But I like even in practice, once you catch some good trades, I don't know, kind of like you're just done, I don't know. So good Monday morning though. Hopefully you all are green or or practicing or whatever. So for this is pulling back. I don't know. That's pretty straight down. That's a it erased all these guys that were long. Man, it erased that pretty quick. That's why it's nice. Yeah, it's nice to take some profit off. Man, that thing is just. I tell you, markets are moving lately. Man, both directions. Yeah, it did have. It did. That's what's kind of cool. It did have like how strong that is, right? This 4 hour. It's 420 down to this GAN. That's pretty cool. So we'll see. Can we get a marker or something? I don't know. I'm just curious to see. Can we stay above this 387? So there's a nice trade off that 87. Man, that's a good little. I love these cans, man. Like, I mean, all day long, man, unbelievable.